Okay, this will also be a short video. What I'd like to do is, if you notice, where we left off, we're already kind of forcing the player into one perspective, right? So it happens to be, a first-person perspective from the perspective of this input pawn that we have. So I want to introduce cameras, and this is a massive topic. So for us, I think now I just want to get us placing a camera that we can control rather than have one kind of spawned by the engine that inhabits this pawn that we have. And that's because in the version of the game I'm going to make, it's third person. So I kind of want to have a third person camera and the players running around. I mean, you may decide that, no, I want my camera to be first person, which can obviously change the player's experience dramatically and changes the nature of the game quite a bit. But without further ado, let's go ahead and just show you very quickly how we can take something that's this, right, inhabiting the player, and kind of bring it outside from a camera's perspective. So I'm back in my input pawn, and if we go ahead and we look at our components, I had mentioned earlier as I was listing some of the components that there's a lot of things here that you can add to this particular actor. Right now, if we go back to our viewport, we really only have this sphere. And it's a child of their scene root. And so what I want to show you now is let's add a camera. And so if I go to add component, I type camera. There's two types. I mean, there's one that's like a cinema camera. It's kind of cinematic. I mean, in general, just use this camera. The difference between them is the cinematic camera has some more features built in. It does like has filters, kind of stuff like that, but so does the regular camera if you really want. So we add this camera, it spawned it here at 0, 0, 0, relative location, right? And if we play, there's something changed, right? We're now like right basically in the floor moving around. So what the engine did is it saw that we had a camera attached to our pawn, and as we were inhabiting the pawn, it was like, okay, I see this camera, let's use that instead of just spawning one, because it's always going to spawn a camera. So you can have, and you can have cameras in the level, like you can have all sorts of stuff. But for us, we just want a camera that's following a little ways behind our sphere and like kind of looking, I guess, up and down, right? So I'm going to select the camera here, translate it back, move it up, press E to rotate, and I'm just going to pitch it a little bit, and then compile and play. Nice. So very quick. And that basically it's inhabiting that camera, and remember that camera is attached to our sphere. So in this case, it's going to follow the sphere, but really the sphere is the whole pawn now. So there's nothing too bad with that. So now if I move around, the camera is going to move with my sphere here. And so you can play around a little bit with how you want your perspective to be here. That's fine. I mean, maybe I want something even farther back. And later on, okay, well, even farther back. Later on, what we're going to do is we're going to leave our pawn behind and have a character controller that controls the a pawn. It gives us a little more features within our camera, like a spring arm and things. But if you want basics here, this is very, very basic, pawn with camera. Something else I'll do very quickly, otherwise this video is going to be like 2 minutes, is as I move this camera, see, I'm just going to move it back. I was going to show you, that you can, this was in one of the earlier videos, that you can have different transform systems like world and local. If you click up here, so when you're moving things around, I mean, since you're inside the actor, it's going to do, it's going to do local to this thing here. But let's move it up and then press play even further. So I'm just kind of, okay, good. So we can see everything here. And we're able to move our ball around and it goes through the wall, which is not what we expect. Right, but this is a simple way of kind of figuring out, oh, what's a good perspective to have for the player. Thanks.